What's up, guys? It is Shafe making another late night video because I woke up in the middle of the night with a headache and I couldn't get back to sleep. It's like 3:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning. I was going to say Friday night, but technically it's Saturday morning. So I took some Excedrin. I'm waiting for the Excedrin to kick in. But anyway, I can't fall back asleep, so I figured I'd make a little video here. For those of you who are willing to listen, and those of you who are not, go ahead and skip past this video. Or listen to the first couple minutes and then realize that it's too boring and too long. Turn it off. Want to change gears a little bit and talk about the so-called singularity that a lot of people are predicting that we're heading into. I'm going to give you my amateur minor league opinion on it, which, to be honest with you, I think is just as good, if not better, than a professional major league technical opinion. And if I can branch off and talk about that for a second, I find the older I get, the more knowledge I accumulate, the more wisdom I accumulate. I realize that sometimes coming from a point of view of relative ignorance can almost give you an advantage. Much like the guy who has no musical training whatsoever can still pick out good music from bad music and say, I like this, but I don't like this. I don't know why I like this and I don't like this, but I just do. This song speaks to me more than this one. This song sounds more honest. It speaks to me on a spiritual level or reaches my soul or whatever. I don't know why. I don't know how. I just know that it does. As opposed to a musician who, when they listen to a song, they're like, oh, I know what he's doing here. He's playing an arpeggio, or he's playing a major seventh chord, or a minor seventh chord, or a dominant seventh chord, or a ninth chord, or an augmented chord, or a diminished chord, or whatever it is, Once you learn the technicalities of any type of craft, you start to think in a different language according to the technical knowledge that you have, right? And I have pretty much zero technical knowledge when it comes to computer stuff. I just know how it affects me, and I know what I like and I know what I don't like about it. And I think that's all I really need to know, unless I wanted to become a computer guy, an IT guy, which I don't, and I won't be. My career path is pretty much set in stone now at this point in my life. I'm probably going to be in mortgages till the day I die, whether I like it or not. But anyway, getting back to my main point of the so-called singularity and stuff like that. My opinion is that there's a very good chance that we will be going into a matrix. But the funny thing about this reality is that as opposed to the actual movie, The Matrix, where human beings were sort of forced into this thing, what I think is happening is that we are willingly submitting ourselves, and we are willingly climbing into the pods and letting the pink goop flow around us and overcome us and we are willingly closing our eyes, and we are willingly screwing the thing into the back of our head and all the cords on our arms and legs and all that stuff. We're doing it on purpose. We're sheep going to the slaughter willingly, not caring. We're doing it for the sake of entertainment, the sake of convenience, the sake of addiction to social media. And then once you get in there, social media says, we got you now. You're dependent upon us. Therefore, you will follow our rules or we will kick you out. And what do we say? What do most of us say, unfortunately? Most of us say, okay, I'll follow whatever rules you give me. Just don't kick me out of your matrix, because I love it so much in here. I love posting stuff on Facebook and having all my friends like it and agree with it and put little comments saying, you're so right. I love it. I even love it when people disagree with me and I get in arguments with them or whatever. I love it. I can't get enough of it. So, Mr. Zuckerberg, if you tell me that I can't do this, and this, then I will do whatever you tell me to do, because the last thing I want you to do is unplug me. Just don't unplug me. Whatever you do, don't unplug me. I'll do whatever you say. Just don't unplug me, Mr. Zuckerberg. Because I need this so bad. I need this all these virtual friendships with people that I haven't seen since third grade that I reconnected with on Facebook. I haven't seen them since third grade, but they're not even really part of my life, and they wouldn't normally be any part of my life if it wasn't for Facebook. And now I'm addicted to my virtual relationship with them. And it keeps me in my house, too. Because who needs friends? Who needs to walk around your neighborhood and get to know your neighbors and actually have friends that you have physical interactions with when you can have virtual interactions on your phone with people that you haven't seen in 38 years? Who needs real relationships when I have all these virtual smiles and laughs and LOLs and emojis? And who needs reality when I have all this stuff that makes me laugh and makes me cry and makes me think and makes me happy? And I love it in here. I love it in here. Can't get enough of it. So I'm willingly marching to my own enslavement. I put a post on Facebook yesterday. It was really funny. In my opinion, it was really funny. And I'll put a picture up so you guys can see it. It's a mock Facebook friend request from Hillary Clinton. It looks exactly like a friend request where it says, so-and-so has sent you a friend request. I can't remember where it says, like, accept it or whatever. And then the other button says delete it. But this one said, Hillary Clinton has sent you a suicide request. Accept or delete. And I thought it was pretty hilarious because of, all the people that Hillary Clinton knows who committed, quote, suicide, end quote. It's just fun, it's just silly, funny, whatever. So I was sending it to some friends over my phone, over my enslavement public information machine. And I was getting some LOLs, which I love, by the way. I love those LOLs. So I thought I would post it on Facebook because I thought some of my friends on Facebook would like to see it. Silly me. I didn't realize that I was violating one of Mark Zuckerberg's cardinal rules, which is you can't say anything about a woke left-wing politician, number one. Number two, there's certain things that you can't post that have anything to do with violence or suicide or shooting or anything, even if it's clearly a joke. You can't even joke about shooting a BB gun at a paper target because the AI will come through and it will find, or somebody will report you. Little did I know. So I posted that and I went back to my life for a little while. My real life, my true life, my life in reality, in the physical world, where I was working and talking to people, actually having physical interactions with people. And then I said, it's been a few hours since I checked my Facebook. I'll go back, and then boom, your account has been restricted. Oh, what's this about? My account was restricted. I wonder what this is. What is this? Your account has been restricted for 30 days, blah, blah, blah. So, I know what it was. It was that suicide thing. Okay. So I have to click through all this shit. It forces you to click through all these okays and check marks and check boxes and yes and I agree, and it forces you to do that. And then I get this funny shit that says, Shafe, are you thinking about committing suicide? Are you thinking about, is there something we can do to help you because you posted something that had something to do with suicide? Are you okay? Here's a 1-800 number for you to call. Here's an email address and a website and a this and a that. And you can call your local police department if you're struggling with thoughts of suicide. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like, seriously, dude. Who needs Facebook? Who really needs it? Who needs it? Who needs YouTube? Apparently I do. That's why I'm making a video right now. I'm thinking about going on a social media fast. And I apologize to anybody who that might offend, because I'm not actually fasting food, I'm fasting something else. I apologize in advance to anybody who might take offense to using the word fast when I'm not talking about food. But I'm considering going on a social media fast where I literally pause my social media usage. I don't know, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is. I'm considering doing it. And that would be everything. That would be YouTube. That would be Facebook. Those are my two things. YouTube mostly is my number one thing. Facebook it pisses me off too much. Like that most recent thing with the suicide thing. YouTube, I say, is my biggest addiction. Twitter, I couldn't give a shit about. Not even a half a shit. I've already deleted TikTok off my phone. Can't stand it. TikTok is it's like a jerk-off station. That's all it is. Mindless retardation. The worst thing I've ever seen is TikTok. I'm sorry. It's awful. I will not let my children get on TikTok. It's that bad. What else is out there? I mean, what good is Twitter? It's good for getting in political arguments. That's it. I mean, that's really it. What good is Facebook other than to fish for compliments and likes and LOLs? That's really what Facebook is. I think the reason why I think the reason why YouTube is my favorite is because YouTube is the closest of all the social media platforms where you can actually have relationships with people. You can express yourself. You can make long videos where you flesh out all this shit. And some people watch it. Most people don't, especially in a long video like this. Most people don't watch it. but I can truly express myself. Number one. Number two, I have, what do they call it? A penchant, or I have a soft spot in my heart for video editing, and that I really enjoy watching videos, listening to videos, making videos. Just, it's an art form. As you notice on this video, a black screen, me talking into a black screen. This is really a work of art, isn't it? But you guys have seen me make videos where I did some very heavy editing. And I do that every once in a while when I get in the mood and when I have the time for it and stuff like that. But obviously I haven't done that in a while. But yeah, YouTube is clearly my favorite. And YouTube is one of those things where if I got my YouTube account taken away from me, I got to admit, that would hurt. It would hurt. But at the same time, sometimes I find myself even thinking like, I wonder why I don't talk to more people in the real world. Like actually have physical confrontations with people. And confrontations might be a bad word. But you guys know what I mean. Like physical interactions with people, friendships, with neighbors and stuff like that. And it's not that I don't have those, but I think I have much less of them than I would if it wasn't for social media. Social media satisfies that craving, that part of my life. In a big way, but it satisfies it in a very artificial, unsatisfying way. It satisfies it in a virtual way, which again, I am guilty of the exact thing that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. Like, I am one of the people marching into the pods, willingly submitting myself, screwing in the cord into the back of my head, plugging in the cord into the back of my head, whatever you want to call it, plugging the cords into my arms and legs and nipples. Why do they have plugs on their nipples in the Matrix? I always wondered that. I guess for erotic stimulation? I don't know. Anyway. The virtual is a cheap substitute for the real. It really is. And the fact that so many human beings opt for the virtual instead of the real blows my mind. It really says something about human nature, the human soul, human spirit, the condition that we're in right now. That we willingly choose to have virtual experiences over real experiences. And the real question is, why? Why? I think I know why. If you want to know my amateur opinion on it. Why do we choose to have virtual experiences? Number one, they're easy. Mark Zuckerberg makes it easy and convenient for us. It's very easy to avoid things that we don't want to confront. In the virtual world, we just scroll past it. We don't have to deal with it, right? We scroll past it. Not only that, but Mr. Zuckerberg notices, hey, Shafe always scrolls past this kind of stuff, but he always watches this kind of stuff. So what we're going to do, we're going to stop putting stuff in front of him that he typically scrolls past, and we're going to start putting more stuff in front of him that he typically stays on. So they're catering my reality specifically for me. They're giving me a groomed reality. My reality in social media, my virtual reality, is better in many respects, than actual reality. So of course I would prefer it, right? I don't laugh all day long in my house or in my neighborhood, walking around having conversations with people and interactions with people. But when I go on social media and all the people I disagree with are removed from my feed and all the people I agree with are added into my feed, that's very reassuring to me. I like that. My opinion gets reassured constantly. And the stuff that I like, the stuff that makes me laugh, keeps popping up in front of me. It's just dopamine. It's like everything you want is constantly being given to you. It's like feeding a child Snickers bar after Snickers bar and denying him meat and potatoes and vegetables and fruit and water. It's like giving a child 2 liters of Coke, a box of Snickers bars, and 10 bags of Cheetos, and saying, you can either do this or you can come and sit down at the table and eat Brussels sprouts and mashed potatoes and a pork chop or steak or whatever. What do you want to do, son? Which one do you want? The kid's like, let me think for a minute. Oh, this is a tough one, but, after hours of grueling back and forth decision making and considering and weighing all the sides, I think what I'm going to do, I hate to tell you this, but I think I'm going to opt for the Snickers bars and the bags of Cheetos and the 2 liters of Coke as I sit on my ass and watch Ow My Balls on TV. I think that's sorry. Since you gave me the choice, and you really shouldn't give me a choice because I'm only 10 years old, you as a parent are a lazy piece of shit for even giving me a choice of what I want to do. You as a parent should actually be making me sit down and making me finish my Brussels sprouts and making me engage in conversation at the dinner table with mom and dad and brother and sister and everybody. But you're not. You're giving me a choice of what I want to do. And I'm opting for the Snickers bars. We got to take control of our lives, people. We got to make choices. We got to make good choices. We're in control of our destinies. Every single day when we wake up, apart from our employment obligations and our obligations with our children, apart from the things that we have to do, when it comes down to things that we choose to do, like choosing to sit in front of the TV, choosing to sit on our phone, flip through shit, or going outside for a walk, talking to our neighbors, calling our moms whom we haven't talked to in weeks, telling them that we love them, reading a book. Can be fiction, that's fine, or it can be nonfiction, it's up to you. These are healthy things to do. Instead of choosing those things, we're choosing to fill our minds and our bodies with garbage. And I'm as guilty of it as you guys are. I'm probably more guilty of it than some of you guys are. I guarantee you I'm more guilty of it than some of you guys are. What I'm saying here is more for me than it is for anybody else. Every day we we have choices that we make. And the funny thing about these choices is that the more often we make them, the easier they become to keep going in that direction. You know? It's called momentum. You know? But there are headwinds and tailwinds. I will definitely admit to that making the right choice, there's a lot of headwinds when making the right choice. There's a lot of headwinds in living healthy. And there's a lot of tailwinds in living unhealthy. Mentally and physically unhealthy. A lot of tailwinds. Instant gratification, man. It's a huge thing. Instant gratification. The Snickers bar is instantly gratifying. The second you put it in your mouth. That's what she said. The second you put it in your mouth. The Snickers bar. What do you get? You get sugary, sweet, soft chocolate, all these your taste buds just start exploding right away, right? Sweet to the taste, sour to the stomach. But then you go the other route. You go the other route of something that maybe it doesn't taste super great, but you know it's good for you. Well, it's not sour to the stomach. It actually makes you grow. But you don't get the instant gratification. It's called delayed gratification. That's what happens when you study on a Friday night instead of going out with your friends on a Friday night. You're sacrificing today so that you will be okay tomorrow, rather than sacrificing all your tomorrows so you feel good today. Instant gratification versus delayed gratification. What is the right way to live, guys? What's the right way to live? Of course it's delayed gratification. Of course it is. Delayed gratification is always true gratification. It's much more gratifying. It's much more satisfying. Instant means you don't work for it. Instant gratification is the socialists' mantra. Let's do a bunch of stupid shit right now. And then when the consequences come later on in life, go, I didn't know what I was doing. I was young and stupid. And then what happens? The government steps in and says, oh, poor baby. It's not fair that you suffer the consequences for your actions. Here, we're gonna bail you out. What? Really? That's what you're gonna do? You're gonna bail them out? See, because the universe told me something completely different. The universe told me that you deserve the consequences of your actions. And what about the people who didn't go that route? What about the people who suffered up front and now they want to, live on the nest eggs that they've built up for themselves by working their ass off all their life? Oh, well, fuck those people. We're going to take their money from them and give it to the people who didn't work. Wait a minute. What? You're going to what? That's the backwards world we live in, folks. And it's getting more and more backwards. It's getting flipped. It's not 100% flipped yet. It's not a complete 180 yet. But if the woke liberals get their way, oh, it will be. And when it flips completely, you're going to see everybody saying, well, fuck it. There's no reason for me to do anything that is good for me now, because what's good for me is now bad for me. And what's bad for me is now good for me. Black is white, up is down, left is right, right is wrong, wrong is right. The day will come, if we continue on this course, the day will come where it will not pay to do things that are actually good for you. Crime will pay. Batman will be proved wrong in those days. Wasn't it Batman who used to say crime doesn't pay? Robin? Crime doesn't pay. Well, if Hunter Biden has anything to say about it, crime does pay. Clearly. Smoking Parmesan cheese mixed with crack does pay. All right, folks. I think I took up enough of your time. You guys have a wonderful Saturday. I hope you have a great weekend. Love y'all.